Have you ever watched some of these ads on social media talking about how you have to have this marketing program, you have to go through this course, you have to go through, so many hours, 10,000 hours in order to master something? Listen, I don't believe it's that way at all. I really don't. I think by the reason of use, yes, you get better at something, but you don't have to master something at 10,000 hours. All that is quote unquote necessary is to unveil what's already resonant within you. And so what does that mean? It means that you came here by design, not destiny. Destiny says that I have a certain calling and a destiny that I have to forge into the earth, or otherwise I won't be happy. Or I have to put in so many hours or I can't do the thing, right? What about the little child, the childlike wonder of someone that has this giddy, playful mindset that literally puts something together in about 20 minutes? Because they have this innate ability, they have this gifting, they have this design within them that says, hold on a minute, I just want to be seen. I just want to be witnessed and uncovered and unveiled so that I can have some fun here. So whatever you're involved in, I encourage you to dial it back and just say, I don't need to spend thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars trying to gain something that is really not authentic to me. And in other words, if you want to do something that you know that you're carrying in your heart, and you know that it's just keeps coming up, but yet somebody's trying to talk you out of it, or life circumstances says, well, this is going to make a lot of money and I'm not making any money right now, or making minimum wage, whatever it may be. And so you're listening to the gurus, you're listening to your family, your friends, your relatives, whoever it may be. And then you're like, okay, well, maybe I better go in that direction, even though your heart is saying something else. You're here by design, whether you realize that or not. You're not just here through some slimy idea, some mud concept through evolution. You're here to be joyful and playful and love, period. So what makes you playful and joyful and want to love? That is the big question of the hour. Not how much money can I spend on another $10,000 session to try to find out all the strategies and the tactics to do something that is already embedded in my DNA to bring it forth. Oh, you mean I need to pay that guru X amount of dollars to see what's already inside of me, that's already hardwired and resonant in there? And by the way, I have the divine intelligence as well, matching that when all of the conditioning comes off of my mindset. It's all there. Remember, even Christ said, little children inherit the kingdom before the adults will. Why? Because the adults have been programmed and conditioned to believe a certain narrative other than their design. That's just really true, my friend. Very true. And so how do you do this? What makes it look like you can do this without effort? What is the non-hustle of this? What is the hum, the flow, the harmonics inside of you that wants to be seen and heard and witnessed by you before anyone else? See, anyone else, if we're trying to play a program, trying to be something for somebody, trying to add up to mom and dad, trying to, be something, be somebody in the earth, that usually comes from conditioning, not your innate design. So here's an example. My design is to do this. My design is to see your design be activated, period. I live and love, and it's effortless for me to champion everyone else seeing these ideas, these principles, these truths be played out in their own lives. It truly is. It gives me and both Amy and myself this joy and this excitement and this passion that we have never known before. I mean, it is literally lifeblood to us. So what is yours? What do you do? What do you see yourself being and doing that is literally not work or effort or sweat to you, stress at all, that you could flow in and do all day long and even all night and just have a few hours sleep and feel re-energized the next day? What is that to you? Do you know what that is? If not, it's okay. There's no condemnation in that, and there is no like you have to do this right now or else. Yeah, I know you may want to get out of your present situation because it is misalignment and it's disharmony and it is distortion. But the design inside of you is really calling you right now to be seen, heard, and felt on the personal level. When that is seen, heard, and felt, then you can say, okay, let's just use an example. If I can't see anything else in my life but playing music, doing music, okay? There's a lot of people in Nashville, there's a lot of people around the world that would love to be seen, but they're not being seen by themselves. They're not being seen through the mirror, through the lens of themselves, in other words. It's the audience of one that actually causes the frequencies and the energy to explode out of an individual so that others can witness it as well and then come running. So for example, you have the guy or the man or the woman, whoever, sitting at the subway in New York, and they're playing just for the love of playing. In fact, they forgot to put out their tip jar because they just enjoy it. That's all they can see. That's all they can breathe. That's all they want to do. So they came out of the bedroom because they felt like, well, man, I just want to share this passion with somebody else. I've been doing this for years by myself in my bedroom or in my studio, wherever. And I just want to share the love with somebody else. So they go out there, they're fumbling along because they're so excited. They get out to the subway and they're like, okay, I'm just going to start playing for the audience of one, me. And if you believe in God, for God, right? And you're thinking of your, the person you love or whoever else. So you can just join the party, right? Have them all join the party internally. And then you're just singing your brains out. You're just loving life. And then you're like, oh, it dawned on me. I forgot to put out the tip jar. Oh, well. And so then your guitar case is there and you forgot to close it, so it's left open. And you're really not manipulating this. You just forgot, right? Because you're so excited and you're so passionate about sharing your gift. So you do. And then all of a sudden, somebody comes along and you're like, wow, there's a mirror. See, you're witness now because you become a mirror to somebody else's dream inside of them. They start thinking about the entrepreneurial idea. They start thinking about that business they want to start. They start thinking about the restaurant that they've always longed to do because they want to share their food and their recipes because they love to just share the joy, right? And so then they come running and then they throw $100 bill in there. And you're so caught up, you're just like, wow, I just love doing this. And then you look at the smile on the person's face and they're smiling. You're like, hey, they're pointing down at your guitar case. They're like, hey, I just gave you a tip, not because they're trying to be seen, but just say, hey, I just want to know that you blessed me. I want you to know that you blessed me. So I'm giving you the $100. And then you finally just go, okay, what's he pointing out? And then you look down and you say, whoa. Okay, $100. You're like, wow, that's cool. And then you go right back to your playing and your passion because that is your design. That's what I'm talking about. That is something that somebody is not letting ego take over through conditioning, saying, look at me, look at me, look at me. And by the way, I want to be rich and I want to be famous and all those things. No, somebody that's truly in their design and not their destiny. See, if they think they have a destiny, then they're going to try to force and push and make things happen and then want to be seen. But if you're here by design and you just let the love and what you're carrying in your DNA out, first witnessing it yourself, and let it out because you love it and you want other people to experience that same kind of love and passion, wow. Now that is an individual that's operating an authentic expression authenticity by design from another realm. This, my friend, is keeping it simple, not complex, not trying to market through some guru campaign to be seen and heard and advanced so that you can get a bunch of money. Listen, you'll get more money than you could have ever wanted or imagined if you just do what I just said. If you just be joyful, be happy, be the frequency of being to someone else in the subway, someone else in the storefront, someone else down the road at a farmer's market, wherever it is, creators market, expo, online, social media. You are just being authentically you because you love it. You don't care about the money necessarily. Yes, money pays the bills, right? I understand that. But when it comes and overtakes your life because now you're a safe place of authenticity and money is energy, it's looking for safety. When it begins to overtake your life, then you're like, wow, okay, interesting. I did that without effort because playing my music is not effort to me. When you say, if you're a musician and you say this is hard work, maybe it's not your design. Maybe it's something that you force through destiny because you think that is what's going to bring you money, bring you fame, bring you notoriety, but it's really not your passion. It's really not work to you. Then, wow, then you may be out of alignment, my friend. If you are working hard and you're sweating and you're forcing and you're pushing and you're having to promote yourself, that's probably not by design. That is probably somebody else's concept through the conditioning that came through you, and you're thinking, okay, this is my calling. Everybody can tell it's not, but you're the one that's sitting there saying, yeah, I can, it's kind of like Simon Cowell on America's Got Talent and earlier days American Idol when he was just brutal. You remember, if you watch the shows, he was just like, you can't sing, honey. Sorry. And they're just like, what? My mama told me I could sing. No. Your mama should have told you the truth. You can't sing. Go do something else. And then they're just like, what? How dare you? No. He was telling you the truth and you didn't like it. Now, he could have done it with more class, and he's grown and he's expanded. He's gotten a little more softened a little bit, right? He's learned. But the truth is the truth. The truth is, if you're not anointed and appointed and designed to do something, then why are you doing it? Coming from the corporate world for 20 years in executive management in the senior living world, and then 35 years overall in management, I can tell you I've met a lot of people. I've hired a lot of people, managed a lot of people. And I can show you when somebody's literally called to something or not within about 30 seconds. It's really that easy. And I'm sure you can too if you have a shred of discernment. All you got to do is just look and watch and listen for 30 seconds and you can see what's coming out of somebody. It's coming out of their pores. It's coming out of their voice. It's coming out of their heart. It's coming out of their eyes. It's coming out of their mindset. It's just, wow, it's all around them if they're literally designed to do something. If they're not, like, for example, in the senior living world, I'd hire these nurses. I'd interview them and they were like, yeah, I'd ask them, why do you want to be a nurse? And they're just like, well, it was good money. I just, it was something that really paid the bills and I felt like it was decent money. And I would like, interview's over. Sorry. I would say it much classier than that, but basically the interview would be over in my mind and my heart. Cause girl, you're not called to that. Or dude, you're not called to that. Now, if I have a nurse sitting in front of me and they say, this is in our family line. It's in our family blood. And from a very young age, I just wanted to care for people. I was playing dolls or, I was talking with my friends at a very young age, how I wanted to be a nurse. And then I just have this nurturing side and everybody says that I would be great at it. And then I started climbing through the ranks or whatever. I started going and I was a CNA and then I loved it. And then I went and got my nursing license and I loved it. And I want to continue on that path because I just feel like there's nothing else I really want to do. Okay, bingo, you're hired. Hello, you're hired. Hello, you're hired. By design, not by destiny. Destiny could be something manufactured, placed upon our lives that says, everybody in this family was a lawyer. You're going to be a lawyer, bro. And you're like, okay, I guess. And then they resent it when they get through law school halfway through. They quit halfway through and they're like, why am I a lawyer? I can't stand this. And then they're a bitter lawyer if they become one. They pass the bar. And then you're sitting here going, wow, that person is really bitter in the courtroom, very angry. What's going on there? What's happening? You can go on and on and on. The list goes on in any industry, in any genre. So, by design is different than destiny. By design is keeping it simple, childlike, what makes me giddy, what makes me joyful, what makes me play. Play saves the day. Or what is forcing, pushing. I'm resentful half the time, but I don't show it. Yes, I do show it. Other people can see it, but I'm not saying that I am. But yeah, if they can see it, I guess I am. It is borderline hateful because you're going to get to a point where you just disdain it. Don't get there. Don't be that person. I know you're not. You're smarter than that. So go back to the drawing board of design. What is bubbling up inside of you? What do people say that you're really natural at? What you're really good at? That is not hustle. That, my friend, is a hum. Stay in the hum and you'll stay in design. All right, if that helped you, drop it in the comments below. Tell me a situation where you felt like you were really just going after destiny, but you're out of alignment. I want to hear about it. Thank you. We'll see you on the next one.